Question number 1. With Postgresql allows database administrators to determine the location in the file system where the file that represents the database object can be saved.
Clear logic. Your choice tablespace is sound and 100% true.
Question number 2. What are the main migration methods available for moving data from an on-premises Postgresql server to Azure database for Postgresql flexible server?
Good job. Your answer online and offline migrations works well here. Question number 3. What is the primary reason for migrating an on-premises Postgresql server to Azure database for Postgresql flexible server? You chose access to cloud-specific features and benefits. And it is correct. Question number 4. Large corporations and startups alike use Postgresql as primary databases to support their applications and products. Great job. General Purpose Transaction Database is the accurate answer. Question number 5. Which feature in Azure Database for Postgresql prevents a server from running out of storage and becoming RAID-only? Solid response. Storage autogrowth is a valid choice. Question number 6. How does Postgresql handle concurrent transactions and what mechanisms are in place to ensure data consistency? On track. Multi-version concurrency control is the correct answer.
Question number 7. What is the first step you should consider when planning to migrate an on-premises Postgresql server to Azure?
Nicely done. Choosing a migration method is a solid answer.
Question number 8. Which SQL clause is used to filter the results of a query based on an aggregate function in Postgresql?
You're right. Having is the correct answer. Question number 9. Which SQL clause is used to group rows that have the same values in specified columns in Postgres? Correct response. Group by is the most accurate answer.
Question number 10. Which of the following is not a best practice to secure your Aurora Postgresql for network access?
Good thinking. Set public access equal toys for Aurora DB is the right answer.
Question number 11. Which Postgresql feature ensures that only authorized users can access specific database objects?
Excellent. Role-based access control is a brilliant choice.
Question number 12. How can user roles and permissions be effectively managed in Postgresql to enhance security?
Correct. Using the grant and revoke commands is the right answer.
Question number 13. What are some common best practices for optimizing the performance of a Postgresql database? A.
Great thinking. Implementing indexing, query optimization, and regular performance monitoring is the right choice.
Question number 14. How many quorums required in order for the right operation to succeed in Aurora Postgresql?
Sharp thinking. 4 is the right choice.
Question number 15. Which Azure service allows you to host Postgresql databases as a fully managed service?
Smart pick. Azure database for Postgresql is the correct choice.
Question number 16. In what year was Postgresql be part of University of California at Berkeley developed?
1986 is true.
Question number 17. Postgresql supports different programming languages. Which language is not one of it?
Well-reasoned. HTML is the correct choice.
Question number 18. Which Postgres command is used to grant a user permission to connect to a database?
You got it. Your choice grant connect on database is right. Question number 19. What is following feature is available for both RADS Postgresql and Aurora Postgresql? Nice selection. Ours-lambda extension is the correct and valid answer. Question number 20. Which Postgresql statement is used to add a new column to an existing table in Postgresql? Smart move. Alter table, add column is an accurate answer.
Question number 21. How can you manage user roles and permissions in Postgresql for ensuring security?
Well picked. Using the grant and revoke commands is the correct answer. Question number 22. Which command in Postgresql is used to change the definition of an existing view? Exactly. Alter view makes sense and it is right choice. Question number 23. What function is used to count the number of rows in a table in Postgre? Right again. Count is a valid answer.
Question number 24. Which of the listed items cannot be used for interacting with Postgresql?
Well done. Google Data Studio is the right choice.
Question number 25. Which Postgresql extension is used to add support for geographic objects?
Bravo, Postgres is the answer.
Question number 26. Which data type in Postgresql is used to store text of variable length?
Right choice. Text is the best answer.
Question number 27. Which keyword is used in Postgresql to sort the results set of a query?
Excellent choice. Order by is the right answer.
Question number 28. Which Postgresql function is used to return the current date and time?
Nice work. You chose now and it is correct.
Question number 29. L error. Call to undefined function pg-connect. Porky surge.
Strong choice. Blocked ports in the XAMPP is the right answer.
Question number 30. How can you improve the performance of large databases in Postgresql?
Perfect. Optimizing queries, indexing, partitioning, and using connection pooling is the correct choice.
Question number 31. How is a primary key specified when creating a table in Postgresql?
Excellent choice. Primary key is the right answer.
Question number 32. Which Postgresql feature allows for full text search capabilities?
Strong choice. TISVector and TESQuery is the right answer.
Question number 33. How is a consultation that selects only unique rows in Postgresql?
You got it. Your choice select distinct column from name-table is right.
Question number 34. Which extension in Postgresql adds support for geographic objects?
You chose Postgres, and it is correct.
Question number 35. When we install Postgresql, we are created an application called.
Valid point. Gadmin is true.
Question number 36. What is the Aurora Postgresql automated backup retention period?
Smart pick. Between 1 and 35 days retention is the correct choice.
Question number 37. What is an outstanding characteristic of the Postgresql license? Nice selection. Freedom to use, modify and distribute freely is the correct and valid answer. Question number 38. Which command in Postgresql is used to remove an existing table? Excellent. Drop table is a brilliant choice. Question number 39. What command is used to revoke a user permissions in Postgresql? Bravo.
Revoke permissions on user from is the answer.
Question number 40. What is the primary function of the Postgresql command select? Perfect. To query data from a table is the correct choice.
Question number 41 adds proxy instance shape supported for your Aurora Postgres.
Great job. There is no RODS proxy instance shape to choose is the accurate answer.
Question number 42. What is the primary purpose of the Postgresql sequence object?
Nice work. You chose to generate unique identifiers for rows in a table, and it is correct.
Question number 43. To connect Postgresql with CodeIgniter, you must configure at
Right choice. Database. PHP is the best answer.
Question number 44. Which of the following options is an advantage of Postgres?
Well picked. It is stable is the correct answer.
Question number 45. Which command is used to create a new database in Postgresql?
Clear logic. Your choice create database is sound and 100% true. Question number 46. What is the role of the pg-ktl command in Postgresql?
Well done. To control the Postgresql server is the right choice.
Question number 47. What is the purpose of the array data type in Postgresql?
Nicely done. To store multiple values in a single column is a solid answer.
Question number 48. What is the type of data used to store text in Postgresql?
Good job. Your answer text works well here.
Question number 49. How can you enable an extension in a Postgresql database?
Smart move. Using the create extension SQL command is an accurate answer.
Question number 50. What command is used to undo a transaction in Postgresql? Right again. Rollback is a valid answer.
Question number 51. What is the purpose of the Postgresql explain command?
Good thinking. To display the execution plan of a query is the right answer.
Question number 52. What command is used to eliminate a table in Postgresql?
On track. Drop table name -table is the correct answer.
Question number 53. Which Postgresql data type is used to store binary data?
Correct response. Bytea is the most accurate answer.
Question number 54. Which command is used to back up a Postgresql database?
You're right. pg-dump is the correct answer.
Question number 55. How do you give access permits to a user in Postgresql?
Well reasoned. Grant permits on object to user is the correct choice. Question number 56. What command is used to start a Postgresql transaction?
Solid response. Begin transaction is a valid choice.
Question number 57. What does the p-b conf file in Postgresql do?
Exactly. Controls client authentication makes sense and it is right choice.
Question number 58. Mention the default logging name format in Postgresql.
Great thinking. Postgresql %log is the right choice.
Question number 59. How is a foreign key defined in a table in Postgresql?
Sharp thinking. Foreign key is the right choice.
Question number 60. What is the purpose of the Postgresql limit clause? Correct. To specify the maximum number of records to return is the right answer. Question number 61. What is the purpose of a foreign key in Postgresql?
Solid response. To enforce referential integrity between two tables is a valid choice.
Question number 62. How many MB of RAM needs Postgresql to be installed?
Well reasoned. 8 MB is the correct choice.
Question number 63. How is the sum of a column in Postgresql calculated?
Smart pick. Select sum from name dash a table is the correct choice.
Question number 64. Which of the following is not a Postgresql feature?
Excellent choice. Data types is the right answer.
Question number 65. Aurora Postgresql storage volume can grow up to dash.
Well done. 120B is the right choice.
Question number 66. What does the serial data type do in Postgresql?
Sharp thinking. Creates an auto-incrementing integer column is the right choice.
Question number 67. To create the tables in Postgresql, you must enter.
Clear logic. Your choice schemas is sound and 100% true.
Question number 68. What does the Postgresql alter user command do?
You're right. Modifies the attributes of a database user is the correct answer.
Question number 69. What does the Postgresql across join clause do?
Right choice. Produces a Cartesian product of the two tables is the best answer.
Question number 70. What does the vacuum command do in Postgresql?
Excellent. Cleans up and optimizes the database is a brilliant choice.
Question number 71. What is the default port number for Postgresql?
Strong choice. 5432 is the right answer. Question number 72. What module does Postgresql to link Python? You got it. Your choice Psycop2 is right.
Question number 73. How do you create a new table in Postgresql?
Good job. Your answer create table name dash table works well here. Question number 74. Postgresql is a database management system. Nicely done. Relational is a solid answer.
Question number 75. How is a Postgresql transaction confirmed?
Nice work. You chose commit, and it is correct.
Question number 76. Postgresql license has a similarity with.
Right again. All of the above is a valid answer.
Question number 77. In what year Postgresql project started?
Well picked. 1986 is the correct answer.
Question number 78. How is a Postgresql database eliminated? Exactly. Database name dash base dash data makes sense, and it is right choice.
Question number 79. Postgresql launch date.
1996 is true.
Question number 80. Postgresql logo is.
Correct response. An elephant is the most accurate answer.
Question number 81. How you will get all these quiz questions in PDF books format?
Great job. Contact Narayan Changda is the accurate answer.